Welcome to Chemistry World. Today, let us discuss about IUPAC nomenclature of organic compounds. IUPAC nomenclature of organic compounds. IUPAC nomenclature of organic compounds. To write the IUPAC name for an organic compound, first we should know five concepts. Without knowing that five concepts, it is impossible, it is not possible, and what can you say to write the name of IUPAC name? The five concepts must and should you should know. Five concepts. The first one is root word. The first one is a root word. The root word should be there. Compulsory point, the main point in IUPAC nomenclature is root word. That root word, what is the meaning of root word? Means it represents number of carbon atoms in the main chain. Number of carbon atoms in the main chain. A root word. The first one is root word is required to say the IUPAC name. After root word, the second term is primary suffix. Primary suffix. The second concept you should know to write the IUPAC name is primary suffix. What it represents means it represents the saturation nature of organic compound. When it is saturated, it has ane suffix. If it has unsaturated means double bond or triple bond. If double bond is there, we should write it as ene and ine. That is ane, ine. Ene. These three words comes under primary suffix. There are no other words in primary suffix, only these. Ane. Ane should be there if it has only single bonds between carbon atoms. Ene should be there if one double bond is present. If two double bonds are there, diene. Three double bonds are there, triene. Simply, if double bond is there, the primary suffix should be ene. And if carbon has triple bond, one triple bond, ine should be there. If one triple bond is there, it should be ine. Two triple bonds is there, diene. Three triple bonds are there, triene with that positions. So, ane, ine, these three words comes under primary suffix. Every organic compound minimum contains these two. Minimum. Without these two, we cannot represent an organic compound. Minimum is root word should be there and then primary suffix will be there. If a functional group is present, high priority functional group it is there, that comes under another concept, secondary suffix. Comes under secondary suffix. This is third concept. This represents high priority functional group. High priority functional group. So many functional groups will be there. If one functional group is there, no need to consider high priority or low priority. If more than one functional group is there, compulsory the functional group which has the high priority, that should become under secondary suffix. So the functional group which has high priority, if more than one functional groups are present in organic compound, the functional group which has high priority should become under secondary suffix. And remaining functional groups comes under secondary prefix. We should not consider them as suffix. If only one functional group is there is no high, there is no low, that is secondary suffix. So like that one. And another, the fourth concept in IUPAC nomenclature is primary prefix. Primary prefix will be there. primary prefix. So this primary prefix will be there before root word. What it represents means if the compound has cyclic nature, cyclo is the primary prefix. If bicyclic is there, bicyclo is the primary prefix, or spiro compound, if the organic compound is spiro, that should be there. These three words comes under primary prefix. Once again I am saying primary prefix comes under three words. One is if the organic compound is cyclic in nature, monocyclic in nature, we have to write primary prefix as cyclo, cyclopropane, cyclobutane, cyclopentane, cyclohexane, like that. If it has two cyclic rings linked by two carbon atoms, two cyclic rings linked by two carbon atoms, bicyclo. So that primary prefix should be there as well. If two rings are linked by one carbon atom, let me discuss that one separately in a separate topic as pyro compounds examples, bicyclo compounds examples and their names. We will be discussing separate topic. Now I am saying these three words comes under primary prefix. And next, the last concept in organic compound is secondary prefix. Secondary prefix. This concept should be known. This is secondary prefix. Secondary prefix means here which groups comes under this category means low priority functional groups. After deciding high priority functional group, remaining functional groups comes under low priority. All low priority functional groups should be mentioned here. Low priority functional groups should be mentioned here, and if any alkyl groups means branches. If branches are there, the name of that branch comes under secondary prefix. Like this, every organic compound nomenclature can be categorized into 5 concepts. If you know these 5 concepts, the writing of organic name is very easy according to IUPAC. Whatever organic compound you can give. Is a simple organic compound or multifunctional groups having organic compound or open chain organic compound or cyclic chain or bicyclic or pyro, you should know which one comes under which part. Once again I am saying to write IUPAC name in organic compounds, for organic compounds you should know 5 concepts. The first one root word, and next primary suffix, next secondary suffix, next primary prefix, next secondary prefix. Root word means it represents actual carbon number in the main chain. How to identify main chain, that is secondary thing, but main chain means it should have the many number of carbon atoms in the main chain. That carbon number is represented by root word. The root word represents the number of carbon atoms in the main chain or parent chain or actual chain, you can say. After that, primary suffix. After root word, primary suffix should be there. That primary suffix represents a, e, ine. If organic compound has only single bonds, the primary suffix comes as a. If the one double bond is there, the primary suffix comes as e. If two double bonds are there, the primary suffix comes as diene with the positions of the double bonds. If 3 double bonds are present in the organic compound, we have to say it as triene with the positions of the double bonds in that organic compound. And if triple bond is there, the primary suffix will be ine. So, a, e, ine comes under primary suffix. Next, coming to secondary suffix. Secondary suffix means it is a main thing. We have many functional groups. If organic compound has more than one functional group, we have to first identify which one is high priority functional group. There is a priority order. I will show that one next one. Or in the books it will be there. The priority order. High priority group will be COOH. After that, second priority will become for SO3H. Like that, order will be there. I'm sorry. The triple bond will comes under last category. The high priority for COOH groups, least priority for triple bond, and that comes under secondary prefix. So which group has high priority? That comes under secondary suffix. After that, primary prefix. It represents the nature of organic compound, whether it is open chain or cyclic or bicyclic or spiro. If cyclic is there, we have to write as cyclo. If there is no cyclic, no need to write primary prefix. There is no bicyclic, there is no spiro, there is no cyclic nature, then we should not write this one. So if cyclic is there, or bicyclic is there, or spiro is there, the compound structure, we have to write it as primary prefix. These three words will come under primary prefix: cyclo, bicyclo, spiro. After that, last concept in organic compounds is secondary prefix. After deciding high priority in more than one functional groups, if it is there in organic compound, the next low priority functional groups comes under secondary prefix. First, you should know if a functional group is there, if it is considered as primary, a secondary suffix, the name will be different. And if it is considering as secondary prefix, name will be different. I'll say one example. Suppose OH group is there. This is OH group. If it only one functional group is there in the organic compound, that comes under secondary suffix. No thinking of primary suffix. Along with that, if one more functional group is there, CHO, so it is more priority than OH. So if these two are there in organic compound, it comes under high priority. It comes under high priority and it comes under low priority. Like this, if more than one functional groups are there, the functional group which has high priority comes under secondary suffix and low priority comes under secondary prefix. We should not consider it as suffix. If this is there are like this, more than high priority than this OH group is there, we have to consider. Means if only one OH group is there, that is secondary suffix. If both are there, this is high priority than this group, so then it becomes high priority group and comes under secondary suffix, and this becomes secondary prefix. If it is secondary suffix, the suffix name we should call as or. And if it is secondary prefix, if it is secondary suffix, SS I am writing here, the suffix should be all, and if it is secondary prefix, we should say it as hydroxy. Like that, if it is secondary prefix, the name should be hydroxy for OH. If it is secondary suffix, the name should be all. OL, all should be there. Like that, you have to say names. So before writing this one, you have to identify which is high priority group and which is less priority group we have to think. Now, so these are the 5 parts should be known for writing organic compound name according to IUPAC. So let me discuss first root word. Let me come once again one by one. Root word, already told you, it represents number of carbon atoms in the main chain. If one carbon is there, we have to say it as meth. If 2 carbons are there, eth. 3 carbons are there, prop. 4 carbons are there, but. 5 carbons are there, pent. 6 carbons if it is there in the main chain, hex. 7 carbon atoms if are there in the main chain, hept. Not sept, hept. And 8 carbons are there in the main chain, non. 10 carbons are there in the main chain, dec. More than 10 is not required to us, up to 10 only is enough. From that only we have to write many names. So up to 10 is 10 carbons if there in the main chain, that is dec. If single bond is there, decane. If one double bond is there, decene. If one triple bond is there, decyne. 10 carbons, one triple bond, decyne. 10 carbons, one double bond, decene. 10 carbons, only single bonds between all 10 carbon atoms, decane. Like that, you have to say root word. So it represents the number of carbon atoms. So based on the number of carbon atoms, root word will be there. Meth, eth, like that, and so on. You can check in the books and all these things, or you can open that nomenclature concept. It will be there. So once again, I am saying All that root word, myth, eth, prop, but, pent, hex, hept, oct, non, dec comes under root word. And single bond in like that. This is root word. And primary suffix I told you. Secondary suffix are there. Primary prefix. If cyclic compound or bicyclic compound, spiral will be there. And secondary prefix are there like this. First, these are the main concepts to understand, to write the nomenclature of organic compound. So now let me see some examples to write how we have to write the name. I am taking previous examples. I am taking previous examples to write the name. So what is priority groups? All these things also I'll explain. First, let me see which groups comes under primary prefix, which groups comes under, already I told you 3 groups comes under primary prefix. That is what? Cyclo, bicyclo, spiro comes under primary prefix. Ein, een, ein will comes under primary suffix. Then which groups comes under secondary prefix? Let me see now. F, if fluorine is there, we have to say it as fluoro. All these comes under secondary prefix. They comes under secondary prefix. If these groups are there, they are second. We should not write these groups as suffix names. According to IUPAC, these groups, what are the groups? Some groups are there. If these groups I am writing here, they comes under secondary prefix. First one is F, next one Cl if it is there, we have to say it as chloro. Next bromine if it is there, we have to say as bromo. And if iodine is there, we have to say it as iodo. And if NO2 if it is there, we have to say it as nitro. And if NO is there, we have to say it as nitroso. And if OR is there, alkoxy. And if C is linked with two carbon atoms linked with one oxygen, epoxy. All these are comes under secondary prefix. We should not, at any cost, we should not write these as secondary suffix. Always comes before root word, that too before primary prefix. So IUPAC name contains like this: first secondary prefix, then primary prefix, then root word, then primary suffix, then secondary suffix. Just now I told you like that will be there. So these groups always comes under secondary prefix. Along with that, if high priority, some groups of functional groups are there, if that functional groups have less priority, they also comes under secondary prefix along with that. These never become secondary suffix. These always should be there. Starting of the name means secondary prefix. First, we have to write these names. After that only, we have to go for primary prefix and then root word and then primary suffix and then secondary suffix we have to do. So this is groups. Now coming to secondary suffix groups. Secondary suffix groups. What are that secondary suffix groups? According to priority order, I will write that one. The first one is COOH. So it is highest priority group. More than high priority than this is never is present. So it is highest priority group. So the suffix will become, it has oic acid. Oic acid. Secondary suffix at the end of the name, oic should become. This carbon should be included in the main chain. This carbon must and should be included in the main chain, and end oic acid will be there. After second priority, second highest priority is SO3H. This is called sulfonic acid. Sulfonic acid we have to say. SO3H, sulfonic acid should be there. SO3H, sulfonic acid is there. So like that, COOH, if it is there, we have to write high priority group. If SO3H is there, we have to say it as sulfonic. After that, third highest priority group is anhydride, COO. If it is there like this, we have to say oic anhydride. Oic anhydride we have to write. Third highest priority group. The third highest priority is like this. Next, the fourth highest priority is ester group. C double bond O R. If it is ester is there, we have to say suffix as O8. We have to say suffix as O8. After that, acid chloride group it is there. We have to say it as oil chloride. We have to say it as oil chloride. Suffix, secondary suffix. I am not writing prefix. If these two is there in the organic compound, this comes under secondary suffix and this comes under secondary prefix if these two are there. If only one is there, that is secondary suffix itself. So in this, suppose this and this is there, this comes under secondary prefix, this comes under secondary suffix. So like that you have to say high priority is always secondary suffix. After that, CONH2 is there, it is amide group and we have to say suffix as amide. And after that, cyanide, we have to say it as nitrile. And this carbon should be included in the main chain. In cyanide, the carbon which is there, that should be included in the main chain. After cyanide, we have to write isocyanide. So we have to say it as isonitrile. Isonitrile. After that, aldehyde. After that, ketone. After that, alcohol. After that, SH will be there. And if these comes under secondary prefix, at what condition they comes under secondary prefix? I told you, if more than one functional group is there, in that first we have to identify high priority group. After that, remaining functional groups comes under secondary prefix. Suppose this cannot be secondary prefix because high priority group will be there and this will be secondary prefix possibility is there. If it is there as secondary prefix, the name should be sulfo. Name should be sulfo. And if you want to write secondary prefix for this, we have to say it as carboxy. Secondary prefix. Secondary prefix. If there is a possibility to write secondary prefix, sometimes will become also. And for this, if it is secondary suffix, sulfonic acid. If it is secondary prefix, sulfo. And in this case, oic anhydride is there. If it is secondary prefix, we have to say no secondary prefix name for anhydride. And then for ester, if it is secondary prefix is there, we have to say it as alkoxycarbonyl. Alkoxycarbonyl should be there. We have to write as alkoxycarbonyl, secondary suffix, so secondary prefix if it is there. Secondary prefix. And in this case, we have to say it as chlorocarbonyl. Chlorocarbonyl. And for this, we have to say carbamoyl. Carbamoyl. MOYL. Carbamoyl for amide. And for cyanide, cyano. And for this, isocyano. Isocyano. And for aldehydes, oxo or formyl. Like that are there. So these are secondary prefix. If these groups comes under secondary prefix, these are the names. If these groups comes under secondary suffix, these are the names. And other secondary prefix and secondary suffix groups also there according to priority order. According to priority order, after isocyanide, next is CHO and secondary suffix name is all. Secondary prefix name is oxo or farmyl, oxo or farmyl. And if keto group is there, C double bond O group, if it is there, we have to say suffix as on, and we have to say prefix as oxo or keto. We have to say it as oxo or keto if ketone functional group is there. If OH functional group is there, if it is comes under suffix, we have to say it as OL. If it is comes under prefix, just now I told you, we have to say it as hydroxy. And if SH group is there, if it is comes under suffix, secondary suffix, we have to say it as thiol. And if it is comes under prefix, we have to say it as mercapto. Mercapto. If SH group is there, if it comes under secondary prefix based on this priority order, so we have to say it as mercapto. After that, if NH2 group is there, we have to say as amine as the secondary suffix and amino as the secondary prefix. Amino as the secondary prefix. Like this, priority order should be identified. Highest priority is this for second highest, third highest, fourth highest, fifth highest, sixth highest, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. So 13 functional groups are there. In that 13 functional groups, highest priority for this, below that priority order is decreasing. So in this case, if these functional groups are comes under in the, if present in the organic compound, more than one functional group present in the organic compound, the functional group which has highest priority based on this order, that comes under secondary suffix, and remaining all functional groups comes under secondary prefix. If secondary suffix is there, we have to say the names like this, and if secondary prefix are there, we have to say the names like this for these groups. Of course, in your books, these are there, or if it is not there, you can pause the video and you can write this priority order. If it is primary suffix, this is the name, secondary suffix, these are the names. If they comes under secondary prefix, these are the names for these groups. So like this, we have to identify which group comes under which category. Total 5 parts are there in IUPAC name. I told you the first part is root word at the center, primary suffix, secondary suffix, primary prefix, secondary prefix. Total 5 parts there. These groups may comes under secondary suffix or secondary prefix. Already I told you primary prefix only 3 groups are there, that is cyclo, bicyclo, spiro. Primary suffix only 3 are there, ane, ene, ine, and root word carbon number. Like that, first you have to identify which comes under which category. By seeing the name, by seeing the structure, the name should be divided into that. Okay, this part comes under root word, this part comes under primary prefix, this part comes under primary suffix, this is secondary prefix, this is secondary suffix. If you categorize, then you can easily write the name. So once again, first to write the IUPAC name, first you have to categorize the groups of the groups present in the organic name, or the parts present in the organic structure. What is root word, what is primary prefix, what is primary suffix, what is secondary suffix, what is secondary prefix. Already I told you root word is nothing but carbon number. Primary prefix means cyclo, bicyclo, spiro. Primary suffix means ane, ene, ine, and secondary suffix groups are these. If they comes under secondary suffix, these are the names. If these comes under secondary prefix, these are the names. At what condition secondary prefix will be there? If high priority group, more than one functional groups are there, if one group should be considered high priority based on this one. After that, remaining functional groups comes under secondary prefix. They not at all should be, they are suffix groups. Only one group is secondary suffix, remaining all functional groups comes under secondary prefix. So that will be there. And some groups already just I told right now, they comes only under secondary prefix. They never comes under secondary suffix. So like that, you should divide the names. So after that, let you write the names in the next video. Thank you.